This is a different approach from what we saw in the government's first budget. Still, it ignored the advice of most Canadian economists, aiming the GST cut squarely at consumers. Ron Charles on some of the early reaction.
It's in places like this that the 1 percentage point cut to the goods and services tax will really add up, leading to a drop in the price of a newly constructed home.
Any way you look at it, the average price for a new home in Halifax now is in the vicinity of $300,000. That's a $3,000 saving for our home buyers.
The savings will be smaller at the country's shopping malls, but shoppers seem to love the idea of a sales tax cut almost as much as they love a sale. Still, many wonder how much of a difference 1 point will make on their day-to-day purchases.
I think it's fabulous. I think they should cut the whole thing.
What's 1%? It's not enough. But I also keep shopping. No, it doesn't matter.
Anything makes a difference these days.
So that's $67.77.
Still, the GST cut left most of the country's leading economists scratching their heads. They argue cutting the GST gives only a small break to the average consumer, but a big one to wealthier high spenders. A family buying this blanket at Walmart would pay just 25 cents less in tax. A high roller buying this $108,000 car would save more than $1,000.
It has a disproportionate effect. So as the GST is cut, it'll actually benefit people who are buying more rather than lower income Canadians who aren't going to see any benefit because they're not paying the GST anyway.
The last time Ottawa cut the GST, it actually increased some income tax rates at the same time. This time there are broad-based income and corporate tax cuts. This economics professor, who was once Stephen Harper's master's thesis advisor, says Ottawa got things right this time.
Given the size of the surpluses that we've had for almost a decade, we very clearly are an overtaxed economy. And your very first goal as a government now should just be to reduce the tax burden on individuals the best you can.
Still, one prominent economist told CBC News today that the GST cut amounts to a political gimmick that won't put much money into the pockets of Canadians. He figures the average consumer will save about $13 a month. Enough for a medium-sized pizza. Ron Charles, CBC News, Toronto.